Children are used to the answer coming after the equals sign, so when the missing number appears somewhere else, they can suddenly lose confidence. I'm Marie from This Child Can, and I'm going to show you how to use a simple bar model to help children solve missing number problems. Welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to look at missing number problems. Now, a missing number problem is simply a calculation where one of the numbers has been replaced by a question mark or something similar, and we have to work out what that missing number is to make the calculation true. Here are some examples. Now, young children can get confused by this, so the best practice is to look back at the bar model to help us solve it, and we learnt about that in a previous lesson. So here we have 2 plus question mark equals 5. Start by asking your child, what do we know? We know that 5 is the whole, we know that one of the parts is 2, and the other part is the missing number, what we need to find, and that's the question mark. We can transfer this information into the bar model, and we can see that we've put the question mark to represent the missing number in both the original calculation and in the bar model. What we need to do now is identify the 4 number facts from this bar model, and then we can pick the one that's going to help us to solve our missing number problem. What we need to look for is the number fact that gets the missing number on its own on one side of the equal sign. So now let's write down the 4 number facts from this bar model. And we can see from this that the most helpful number fact here is 5 take away 2 equals question mark, because the question mark is on its own on one side of the equal sign. So now we can work out the missing number. If we do the calculation, 5 take away 2, we get 3. So our missing number is 3. And if we put the 3 back into the original calculation to check it, we can see that it works. So what happens if the missing number is in a different part of the calculation? Here we have question mark plus 3 equals 5. Just like before, we need to transfer all this information into a bar model. Once we've done that, we can then write down our 4 number facts from that bar model, and we can choose the most helpful number fact to help us solve this. And remember, the most helpful number fact is the one that puts the question mark on its own on one side of the equal sign. So in looking at these, we can see that the most helpful fact here is 5 take away 3 equals question mark. Now we can do that sum. We can do 5 minus 3, and the answer is 2. So 2 is our missing number. So what happens if the whole comes first? Here we have 5 equals 2 plus something. Now we could write that the other way around. 2 plus something equals 5, because the equals sign just means has the same value as. So here we know that 5 has the same value as 2 plus something. And remember, we can turn the something and the 2 around the other way. So we can say 5 is something plus 2. It doesn't matter which way we say it. The answer will still be the same because both sides have to balance. 5 on one side, 2 and something or question mark on the other side. Now let's look at what we do for subtraction. Here we have 5 take away question mark equals 2. We know that the whole is 5. And we know that one of the parts is the question mark and the other part is 2. Now we need to transfer this information into a bar model so that we can see what it looks like. Now don't forget, the 2 parts at the bottom of the bar model add together to make the top number, the whole. So when we look at this in reverse, we know that the whole at the top take away one of the parts at the bottom equals the other part at the bottom. And it's this relationship we have to keep in mind. So like before, we write out our 4 number sentences and we choose the number sentence that's most helpful to help us find the question mark. Like we can see here, the most helpful fact is going to be 5 take away 2 equals question mark, because question mark is on its own on one side of the equal sign. So that means that 3 is our missing number. So what happens when it's the whole that's missing? Children often struggle when the calculation is written like this. Here we have question mark take away 3 equals 2. We need to ask, what happened here? We had a number, we took away 3 from that number, and the result was 2. This shows us that the 2 parts are the 3 and the 2, because we took away 3 from the whole number and 2 was left. So we need to use a number fact to find the missing whole. So as before, we create the bar model, we write our 4 number sentences, and we choose the number sentence with the question mark at the end to help us solve it. And in this case, we have 2 number sentences with the question mark at the end because we have 2 and 3, and we have 3 and 2. And we know that we can add those either way around and we get the same answer. So our missing number here is 5. Here we have another example that looks tricky, but the thinking is actually the same. We have 7 equals something, take away 9. So let's think about what happened here. We had a number, we took away 9, and the result was 7. So we can rewrite this calculation as something, take away 9 equals 7. Once again, now what we have to do is find the number fact that keeps the missing number on its own on one side of the equal sign. We can put these numbers into the bar model, write our 4 number facts, choose the number fact that's most relevant to help us, and then we can see that we actually have 2 options again here. We can see that 7 plus 9 equals something, or 9 plus 7 equals something. And because we can do both of those calculations, we can work out that the missing number is 16. So today we've learned that missing number problems become much easier when children understand the relationship between the numbers. We use the bar model to identify the parts and the whole. Then we use the related number facts to work out the missing value. So the questions that the children need to ask themselves are the following. What do I know? What is missing? Is it a part or the whole that I'm trying to find? What are my 4 number facts? What does the bar model tell me? Which number fact gets the missing number on its own on one side of the equal sign? Do both sides of my calculation balance? And does my missing number make my calculation true? Thanks for watching. I really hope this helped. And if it did, please like it and share it with someone else who might find it useful too. And don't forget to subscribe to This Child Can for more calm practical tips to help support children with their learning. And here's a question for you. What educational tip have you learned from another parent or a teacher that has blown you away?